Welcome, Cancer and Cancer Cross Watchers, to your reading, for today, or for this week. So we have the Six of Cups here. So Cancer, I'm trying to feel, Cancer, you may have turned someone away here in order to focus on someone else. And it kind of has the energy of the person that you kind of turned away to focus on this other element of your life. For some of you, the other element of your life feels like it could be like a child or a pet, something like that you care for. And you seem to be getting a lot of fulfillment, or at least all the fulfillment that you need out of that connection or relationship right now. It feels like it's really high on the priority list. I want to say not necessarily because it's there's anything, on fire that needs to be addressed. It feels more that it's, you seem to have a new appreciation for it. There seems to be something about it that it's very precious to you. But I feel like you know that there's a limited amount of time that you have to spend. It's almost like, and I'm really sorry if this is the case. Maybe you have a pet that is ill and there's not much time, in which case I'm so sorry. For others of you, it could be that maybe you have been taking care of, like a niece or a nephew or something like that, and you know that they'll be leaving soon. So it's that type of an energy. And so I feel like you are wanting to really, oh my gosh, I want to cry. You're wanting to cherish this time as much as you can, while also being in this like forlorn, that's not quite it. It's like this, it feels like it's a devastating energy, actually. But you're kind of in that mode where you're like putting on, a smile, and you just want to enjoy the time that you have and kind of process that later. And I feel like whoever it was that you turned away, they kind of can't watch this. I'm like overwhelmed and I want to cry. Sorry. I'm not really sure why. It feels like they know how much at least you are hurting, and possibly the other, the animal or the child or whatever it is that's really precious to you. They can't watch this end. So it's like the fact that you have kind of sequestered yourself to do this. I feel like it's like they know that they should be there to support you, but I feel like they would fall apart if they were. And they know that you would then kind of move into that caring role, and that you would be focused on them rather than what's going on with you, and making sure that you're doing everything that you can in the time that you have. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Cancer. Okay. Can we get... So we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. I feel like everything that the Queen of Pentacles usually talks about that someone that takes care of, the house and the home, and they're, you walk into the Queen of Pentacles home and it's that really warm, inviting, and it smells like cookies or something, like it's just one of those types of homes. And I feel like there seems to be, feels like you were, sorry, I don't know why I feel like I'm going to cry. I feel like you know that you did everything that you could to make that home for this precious thing, precious entity, right? And I feel like you it's almost like you know that you did your absolute best to serve them while you were given the opportunity. Sorry, I just feel like I'm going to burst into tears, so I'm talking kind of slow. And I feel like you seem to want to kind of put that to the side, and instead of focusing on like creating things around them, I feel like you more just want to kind of squeeze every ounce out of, or every minute out of the time that you have, right? So it's like some of those things might be put to the side a little bit. Hold on for a second. I feel like that might be for part of you. For others of you, I almost want to say like some of you may have like momentary doubts that you did do this, that you did enough here. And I feel like that actually seems to fade pretty quickly when you look at them. Okay. Can we get another card for Cancer? Cancer. That's interesting because we have the Queen of Wands upright. So I feel like there's somebody here that kind of expects you to rush the process. And I feel like the energy from you is like you're not even letting that into your, like energetic field. I feel like you may, this person may not really be even expressing it to you, but they are trying to rush you. And it doesn't feel even like you have a particular or specific connection with that Queen of Wands. It feels more that it's like, if you have been in this type of energy where you're, expecting to experience a loss, and it has been extended, I feel like some of you may be looking forward. Let me flesh this out a little bit. It feels like you're kind of looking to, this has been really heavy for you. Once the situation has concluded in whatever way that it will, I feel like there seems to be part of you that experiences, maybe not for everybody, but like a certain level of relief that it's over. Not relief, but it's like this constant pull, 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 and then finally it's pulled out. Sorry. And like obviously there is that devastating energy there. But it's like, but you're kind of thinking like, but at least it'll be over. And sorry guys, I feel like that may actually be a protective mechanism for you, to try to cope with what's going on. I'm sorry. So if that's something that like you're kind of feeling a little bit iffy about with yourself, like you're kind of like, that's kind of like a weird, feeling or emotion to experience, I feel like that is your brain trying to be kind. Okay. I'm so sorry. Actually, can we get one more for Cancer, please? So I feel like there's also whatever is going on. For some of you, it may have been like a motor vehicle accident or something. But regardless, obviously that's not going to be for everyone. But I feel like you're looking at the situation like whoever did this, whoever caused what's happening right now, they better well have they better bloody well have to pay for it, right? But I feel like there's so much devastation with you right now that it's like you don't really have the emotional capacity to be angry about it. It's just so sad. I feel like some of you may be feeling like um, karma has come back around for you. Hang on, let me explain that a little bit. But I feel like it kind of goes back to that other feeling like that certain level of relief. I feel like if you're experiencing those, excuse me, I feel like the whole point of those two being brought up is to help you understand that if you're having some thoughts like that seem like they don't really make sense with what's going on, they don't, like that does not compute. I feel like it's a message that those sorts of things, it's you trying to cope, right? So it's because this is a situation that there isn't a fix to it. So I feel like your brain is trying to organize this situation in a way that makes sense, right? So it's like this happened, like, well, trying to understand like, well, why and how come and how could this happen and why would like how could something like this happen? And so in trying to sort that out, I feel like you're kind of going down a list of thoughts that they may make you feel like you're a terrible person, or like how could you think that at a time like this type deal. But I feel like there's a message here that it's, you know, you are going through a lot, and to extend yourself even a little bit of the grace that you would extend someone else going through this experience. I feel like there also seems to be some like feeling a lot of like loneliness, even if you may not actually be alone. But just kind of circling back around to what the cards were talking about at the beginning, where you kind of had to push someone away to focus on this other thing. I feel like you may be feeling kind of like abandoned, like you have to do this on your own. Like it's almost like, but I feel like you understand and respect why why this dynamic is the way that it is. Um, it's almost like feeling like it has to be this way right now, but that's not like it makes it easy, right? So I think we're going to pull one more card for this kind of a final card for you. Can we get one more card? So we have the Ten of Pentacles here. So in the middle of a read that was, very, I guess at the end of a read that's very challenging, you got the card that talks about having everything, right? Um, and I feel like there's a message here that however this situation concludes, I feel like it would be a more like healing and um, the way to give yourself closure when it's time. It doesn't feel like it's having like a sad, somber event. It feels more, oh, it kind of took my breath away. it feels more that if it's kind of a celebration of what you were able to experience, that feels more like closure. I'm so sorry. That feels more like closure because that was what this was to you, right? It wasn't the experience with this precious thing. It wasn't sad. It wasn't somber. It was wonderful. And I feel like that seems to be a lot more healing for you. I feel like if there was a really somber way that you kind of concluded the situation, it leaves you feeling kind of like empty and emotionally dulled. And I feel like the, you know, doing it in that way, it might take you a while to get out of that energy as well. That like emotionally dull, kind of like someone's just ground down the point, right? And I feel like it could be some time before you're able to get out of it. And this other energy that you had to kind of push away, they're going to carry a lot of, this isn't like to say that you have to do it, okay? You can do what you want and what you need. It's just to kind of explain what's the situation and the energies, right? So if you're unable for whatever reason to celebrate what you had, what you experienced, this energy that you had to push away, I feel like they'll never forgive themselves for not being there for you, for not being more supportive in the whole thing. But the energy I'm getting from them right now, like this is they can't deal with this. It is too much for them. So I feel like if you're able to do it the other way with kind of the celebration, it feels like when you think about them, of course, there is that energy of, loss. But I feel like it kind of puts a spring in your step when you think of them rather than this heavy emotional energy. So I think I will leave it there, Cancer. I love you guys. I really do. I am wishing you all the best this week, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.